Okay, we are recording. All right, guys. So, as all of you guys saw, Lisa had posted, she went to Toledo this week. So, she's doing a training and is back home visiting. So, she asked if any of us would step up and do today's leadership Zoom. And here we are. And here I am. I know there's so many incredible leaders on this page. And I just really wanted to be able to connect with everybody and kind of just run ideas, different ideas that we are all doing. I think it's important that, we see each other on pages and so on, but I think it's so important that we each kind of collaborate and share different things that, are working for our teams, what's not working for our teams, sharing that growth, sharing just different stuff that is happening that maybe we're excited about, different ideas going into the fall. Also, I'm not sure if Jacqueline's on or not, but I know Jacqueline had been making a schedule for, the Wednesday night Zooms and the Thursday night online events. I kind of wanted to see, what your guys' thoughts were, if it's, the same way, if we're going to be doing things the same way. I also wanted to put a suggestion out there and see if, and Holly, you probably can remember this happening quite frequently when we would do the friends and family calls a lot. And, we haven't had those friends and family calls for a while, but because I think we kind of transitioned into doing, lives and so forth, just because we were getting more people on. But I know that I've had a lot of people asking about opportunity Zooms and so forth. And again, I think we've kind of just naturally transitioned over to Facebook Live so that people didn't have to get on a Zoom link, which is fine. But I'm thinking about starting a series of doing them, weekly, but it's hard to fit in when you're going to do those things whenever there's so many other things happening. My team does like a Monday motivational Zoom. I know some other teams do Sunday night things. Tuesdays seem to be a day that I'm actually getting ready to start something up on my personal page on Tuesdays. But I wanted to kind of get some ideas from everybody. I'm just going to be honest and say, like, I've definitely noticed that there aren't quite as many, I really don't know a nice way to say this. There's not quite as many leaders showing up to kind of step in and take on these initiatives. I mean, you guys, I see lots of you all on here and you're all amazing leaders. If you got to 12K, then you definitely are doing something right. And I just want to encourage you guys to know, like, what you have to share is very valuable. And we want to hear from you and we want to learn from you. And we want to know the kinds of things that work to help you get to that level, because that's what's going to duplicate within our teams. Lisa's been reading Unfuck Yourself the last couple weeks. I'm not going to read that today, but personal development is such a key aspect in all of our businesses. But what I want you guys to realize is that not every book is going to be right for everybody in the stage in their business that they're in. So some people might be really struggling with that self-belief, that belief that they are deserving of where they're at or where they're heading. And, as we have leaders coming up on our teams, they're going to come against the opposition of feeling that not worthiness. They're also going to come against that nice thing of where their team just quits or stops working, and they're not sure how to deal with that. They're not sure how to move forward from that. I know that myself personally, I have listen, Jamie and I had a talk last week. She was like, Amanda, you're not right. Like, something's not right with you. And I was allowing a lot of negativity get to me. I was allowing just a lot of just negative vibes plus personal stuff that was happening. And it's really hard sometimes, you know, and here I am, I'm a 200K leader, but what about those people that are dealing with that at other levels, you know, where their business literally could just crumble within their organization because, you know, a 12K leader is going through a lot of things and they're not there, they're not showing up, but then their team hasn't been plugged into others that are showing up, that are getting on Zooms, that are posting, that are talking to people, that are asking questions. And I think that it's important that, you know, those are the things that we also talk about, and not just talking about the growth, but talking about how to overcome those times. And yeah, so anyways, I kind of want this to be more along the lines of where we are all communicating, and it's not just me talking or anything like that, because you guys, I might have the rank title of 200K, but I am no different than any one of you. I show up every single day. I work my business. I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always doing personal development. But I'm also hit with the negative. And I want all of us to know that we can lean in on each other and we can grow, and that we can kind of help each other through those times. And I can tell you, you know, something that Jamie and I were talking about last week was, I tend to get paralyzed whenever that kind of stuff is happening. Like I'm not signing like I can. And I'm like, God, I need to pull that inner beast Amanda out. And sometimes I just need that extra challenge or that extra push in somehow, like some way. Sometimes I think because I tend to be more on the yellow side when I lead, that sometimes I have a hard time kind of moving forward from things that are like weighing me down. So anyways, I guess I want to ask you guys, you know, what is some of your feedback going into the last 10 days? I did a 10-day video challenge for my team. Something else I did this past month is I asked on my Level Up page, which is my team's page, I asked leaders to step in, and by leader, I mean there's not rank specific. I asked them to pick a day and share a tip. And what I have found is some incredible leaders that are within my organization, some that have never promoted, but are good at signing customers and getting referrals and so forth, but they've never made it to that 4K rank yet. I've seen 4K step up. I've seen 12K step up. I've seen 40Ks, 80Ks, 200Ks. I've seen different ranks step up and share their tips because they feel valuable, whether they went live or they just posted something. And it's really been awesome because it's built their confidence a lot. It's built their confidence a lot. And what they had to share, you know, people were very receptive, because what I think we lose as leaders is that sometimes we lose that connection of where they're at and where we're at in our business, and what they're coming up against. So yeah, I wanted to share that because I felt like, I think sometimes we have people that don't share because they think like, oh, I'm not yet promoted, or I'm only a certain rank or whatever, and they don't think that they're as valuable. But they really are, and they really do have some magic to share. And I think that we need to very much encourage all of our leadership throughout our teams to do that. And the thing is, guys, I'm going to be honest, I had people that were 4K, 12K, and so on, but yet didn't have maybe some of those 40Ks or 80Ks or 200Ks that were, you know, volunteering. And likewise, they might have waited back to see if their teams were going to volunteer as well. So anyhow, Jamie Pecca, I can just feel it. I can feel you have something that you want to share.
Thanks, Danny. Danny messaged me to tell me my eyebrows were on point.
Oh, dear Lord.
They're not on point. I just showered today, so that's exciting. You know, it's bad when your kids go, Mommy, where are you going? And I said, no, I just had a shower today. I don't look
I
like
have no water. Yesterday, my toilet broke and water was spraying all over my house. And today I have no water because there was a water leak down the road and all of our water shut off. Isn't that great?
Just
Yeah.
go bathe in the water leak, wherever that is.
It's in my mother-in-law's yard.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I too am kind of doing like a 10-day. I think people get paralyzed, and I know as a leader, August can be a kind of a crappy month, and people are still on holidays, and their kids are going back to school, and you know, you're in that. I feel so out of touch because I drove on Friday 6 hours alone with my 2 kids who should have had horns and a tail. I felt like, but I was gone for 3 days with my children and very little service. And so I get that people are busy, but I think we as leaders, and if you're on this call, you're a leader, need to decide that we're not just going to let the month of August go. And if it doesn't mean that you have to be promoting, but you definitely need to be plugging in. And so, you know, I'm going to make it my mission this week to plug in every day. I'm going to start training more, doing live videos. I'm starting something new with a girlfriend of mine. I'm dealing with my thyroid, so I'm going to engage a new audience. I'm talking about my new journey with my thyroid and what I'm going to be doing. I just started taking, I just did a blood test for food allergies. So I want to create a niche that opens up a new market of people to me. But I've decided that we're not going to let the last 10 days of August go. And so I'm putting together, this isn't a team-wide thing, but I'm putting together a small group of my red people, my red personality runners. And I'm just doing something fun with them, or people that I know need to be plugging in a little bit and have some big goals for August. And Reds are competitive, so I know these guys are going to compete with each other, which I love to see. So I'm coming up with some fun stuff for that. So I encourage everybody to get out of your own way. Decide that whether you have running water or you're away for a weekend or your team's on holidays, that you are going to make a point to make the last 10 days of the month big, and as big as you can do it. And you don't need 1 million people following you to do it. You need a small handful of runners that encourage you and excite you and get you running, and people that are going to be no BS and push you when you need to be pushed. And so that's what my goal is. My goal for the next 10 days is to run with a small handful of people that, you know, I know are all in and are pushing and have big goals. And that's going to lead us into September. I'm excited. I was talking to Paul yesterday because we've got our Canadian launch, and I'm a part of a beta group for what it's going to look like for Canadians to be ordering. I know just from speaking with him yesterday that they've got so many cool things planned, and I'm excited. I know that they're not going to I know a lot of us came from a previous company where we're coming into the fall and you're crossing your fingers like that your business is not going to collapse. And I'm excited because I know that that's not going to happen here. I know that we are going to have some big things with the Canadian launch at the end of this month. Then we're going to have the fit portion of the Lavelle products. And then we're going to have that brand new product that Jason keeps dropping hints about. So just push. If you're pushing even just to maintain your rank, if you're pushing to help some personally enrolled people maybe promote to 4K or 12K, or you're working with the rest of the people that are in their VIPs to make that sure that by the end of this month that they're pushing, that's what, it doesn't have to be major goals. It doesn't mean that you need to be pushing to promote to 200, but it's those baby steps and those baby action steps that you're doing in between that's going to keep things going. And make sure your timeline's exciting, you guys. I mean, who was it that we were talking about last week? Was it Chas that said, like, it was Chas. If I go to your profile page, what does that look like? Like, do I know where to go if I'm brand new and I go to your page and I think that I know you sell supplements, but I couldn't tell you how I go and order those? I have to PM. Most people aren't going to private message you guys. Most people want to click a link and find out where they order or where they can snoop without reaching out to you. So, you know, making sure that your profile is something that's not crazy overloaded with spam. First of all, nobody wants to see Lavelle every post of every day. We want to see what your life is like. We want to see that you were at a wedding this weekend, or your kids are all going back to school, or that you're out of water even. Like, that's what we want to see on your timelines. But I also want to know that without having to scroll through a million posts, I could click something and say, oh my God, I could order products right now. Or, oh, I know where to go to your business page, or, whatever that looks like. So it's the little things that you need to be focusing on the last 10 days of the month. It doesn't mean it has to be a big push. We all get that, August is a little bit tough, or can be a little bit tough, but it certainly doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I think that's all such a key thing. And I think too, just reaching out and finding out where people are at, like what they want to accomplish going into the month end. I know for myself personally, I've definitely not signed very many customers or promoters this month. And I know that the reason why I haven't signed very many customers or promoter this month is because I haven't been as intentional trying to. And I think sometimes that we are just posting and we're thinking that's intention, but it's not, guys. It is not intention when you just are posting. Okay. And you have to remember that, reaching out and following up is such a key aspect in this business. And sometimes that's not directly messaging somebody and just asking if they want to follow. It's just commenting on their post, guys. That active engagement is such a huge thing. I talked about it on the motivational Zoom last night. Just some simple tips that I was giving people was, if you do a live video, go back and comment on the people that commented on your video after the video's over. The next day, go back and like each one of those posts that somebody commented on. That's going to continue to boost that and engagement. The live video challenge, I've seen some people asking over here on this side. Guys, I have done them in the past where it was like all about the business and all about sharing your why and all about all of that. But I actually feel like it's more beneficial for it to not just be business related. Like yesterday, I shared a live video of this oversized truck that was literally had like a mobile home or something on the back of it. It drove a mile up this windy mountain backwards in front of me. Like, I was like, what? Like, I mean, honestly, I titled it, what the fuck? Because I was like, I've never seen something like this before, but people got on, people watched, people checked it out. Today I did a live video on going back to school, bullies, different stuff that kids are dealing with, less fortunate, making sure to give back, making sure to have conversations with your kids. Like, here's the thing, you're going to be more passionate and draw in more engagement when you're talking about something you truly care about. Somebody told me before, and I don't remember who it was. It was a live video that I've been watching. And you guys, I learned from so many leaders outside of this company as well. And, if you are talking about something that truly just spikes that excitement in you, or something that you're truly interested in, something that you're truly passionate about. For me, I tend to go live at random times because I have something on my heart and I just have to share it and I have to talk. And those are generally the best lives that I have. When I try to plan them out or I try to overthink them, they generally don't go as well as I would want. So I want to encourage you guys to go live about different stuff. So on this live video challenge, I did say maybe your why, or maybe you're at the park with your kids, or maybe you're, at the park videoing your kids at their game or something, or something that you want to share. Like I did, talking about, kids that are bullied or kids that are less fortunate, sharing, people talking about school supplies and so forth. I get it, guys, it's hard. But if we have extra to send them in because there is somebody out there that needs them. And I think like us just sharing that kind of stuff on lives too. I think it's so critical and so important, because if you want people to tune into your other lives, then you need to get them tuning into you, period, and getting to know you, because ultimately at the end of the day, they're going to join you. And I've been doing a lot of research, and there's a reason why so many people are shifting to doing lives. And it is because it is where the social media platform is leading. That is why you're now seeing Instagram have an Instagram live. That is why they're saying that eventually what you're going to see is more video, period. And that's going to be what's favored. And right now, that is what's favored in the algorithm. And they're trying to push you to go towards stories. So if you see like social media trying to go in a different direction, it is ever evolving and always changing. I just want to encourage you to make that first initial step. I mean, I can tell you that I see, Brittany goes live every day, every single morning she goes live. So guess what? It's a very common trend on Brittany's team. Her team goes live like a lot on a regular basis. And they're always trying to learn different stuff, and they're talking about different topics. And and it's because they saw their upline doing it, right? And I just want to encourage you guys that we have to lead by example. So if you're not going live, your team sure as heck probably isn't going to go live, all right? And if you're not trying different stuff, your team's probably not going to try different stuff, and they're going to get fresh. I see Michelle over there dancing, putting on her makeup. And if you're not loud about your business, and by loud about your business, I'm not talking about spam, but I'm talking about being excited, sharing it.
Michelle, I feel like your boob is about to fall out at any moment. Like we're about to get a
make me like keep on watching her.
I mean, didn't we talk about where my boobs are right now? You have no worries about
that. Oh, goodness gracious.
Sorry.
But I'm going to predict now, Mark has done a quote or a word of affirmation word every day this month. And I'm going to tell you guys, I love what he's doing. I think it is a super incredible. And I honestly, I look forward to his posts every day.
I totally agree. I look for his post in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so ironic because, I'm thinking did I really see a whole bunch of his posts before? And I don't know, but I am now. So what does that tell us? We have to think about the psychological aspect of it too.
Not to jump in and cut you off, but we just had a really good team Zoom yesterday, and where you're going with this was all about what we did last night on our Zoom, and it was about branding ourselves, and 100%. That's a huge thing because we know Mark for certain things, and the one thing are his affirmations, and people look for that. So again, that all ties into branding yourself. What are you passionate about? What's gonna make people want to go look at your page? Right. People know that ferrets poop. I love talking about pooping. People tag me in that stuff, which forces other people to see my posts. So find your brand and run with it.
I do want to say, guys, finding something that's unique to you. I think that creating sideline love is important. Having people that you really, do this business with is important. But I think that branding yourself outside of just Lavelle and keeping people interested is equally as important. I will tell you that it scares me sometimes when I see people linking arms with people that say that they are generic network marketers to train your teams and open up your network to other leaders. And I say that because let's say I'm all about learning from Ray Higdon or Eric Worre or Susan Sly. I think those people are incredible. I would be very cognizant of who you are opening up your team to, because as much as they say they're generic network marketers, and I think that everybody on their own can be learning, I think that you are opening up your network to finding other network marketers and being poached. And we've seen it a ton. In fact, we had a girl that was straight out poaching our team from another company who was loving on people's posts and starting to see people's friends. And so when we say open up your network and start finding your niche, we're not meaning that you have to find a niche in network marketing. I'm really going with my thyroid disease is out of control. I've hit a big wall, and I know I just did a post a couple of days ago about who has thyroid disease and what does that look like for you. And all of a sudden a new world opened up as far as people that were connecting and commenting on my thread. So finding something, Talissa has a huge following when it comes to makeup, and it's Turn It Up with Tea, and everybody follows. And, I think it would be really funny for somebody like me who showers 3 days a week and doesn't wear any makeup 99% of the time to do like a side-by-side of somebody like Talissa trying to teach me how to do my eyebrows. Like, that would be hilarious. That would be something that we could open up. Or I could, find another, maybe I'm loving a new product, and we're going to, Aunt Amanda did that with your lipstick. You did finding something that works for you, that engages a new audience, not just Lavelle people. Maybe it could be you're learning how to ride a dirt bike, or you're going to go skating for the first time and you need to be taught how to skate, like whatever that looks like. But just be careful who you're opening your team up to when you're trying to do this and connect with other people, because it can get scary. And I think we have a lot to learn from Eric Worre. And I also think that we have great leaders in here, and we as 12Ks and above just need to be vocal about what you want to learn and how you want to learn it. And I learned tons from 12Ks and 40Ks and 80Ks. And let's just make this page a page about learning and teaching. And if we don't know, Girl Wash Your Face. There's a good one. Rachel Hollis is incredible, but you don't have to worry about her with another network marketing company. We don't have to worry about her poaching a new group of our team. We're just learning about things that make us human and beautiful as women, and how we can grow ourselves. And, there's so many ways to grow without worrying about hurting your organization.
And, Katie said something over in the corner just a minute ago. She said, she watches videos and she learns things, but she doesn't comment on a lot of those things. And I don't either. Especially sometimes some of the people that I'm following and trying to learn stuff from. And you guys, here's the thing, and I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to understand that there are a lot of coaches in this industry that are not actively building network marketing companies. And I just want to encourage you guys that times have changed. Things have changed, so not necessarily all that they teach is going to be as effective as what it maybe once was. But also, I don't want to see anybody get caught up in paying for like all these extra courses. I'm not saying don't do personal development or don't learn something. There's plenty of times that I've purchased a course and then I came back and taught my team what I've learned from those courses. And that's the way that we should be doing it. If we do decide that we're going to invest in a course, bringing it back and sharing that with our teams, because here's the thing, is like, there's going to be so many people that do different things. And I love checking out some of these people that I see growing in other companies. I love looking at what they're doing from an outside perspective, because I go and I look at it as, how can I utilize what they're doing or take that and apply it to my own business or my own growth. And I've been working on that a whole lot in certain areas. I'm also working on really defining my brand. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, defining your brand is a very hard process because you really have to search within yourself of who you are, what you want to bring out to the world, what you want to represent. But it's fun. It's fun to find that along the way.
There's a girl, Amanda, this reminds me of, like, I think being raw and real is one of the coolest ways to build your brand, because
and that's me.
It is, because like, again, with my thyroid, I think that's such a big struggle with me, and that's a big part of my life. I'm on daily medication for the rest of my life. I'm trying to avoid thyroid surgery so I don't have a big scar across my neck and I don't have to have radiation. but it's such a huge market of people. And there's a lady that comes to mind that she's with a makeup company, and she shared her gastric bypass surgery, and she was raw and real, and the boom that happened in her personal page was incredible. And I love following her. She showed, what it was like moving up to her bypass surgery and what she had to do every day. And it was a big struggle to get there. And then, she had her surgery and she started sending people update pictures. And now she's, 8 months post-op. And now she's about to get a tummy tuck and her boobs done. And it's relatable, and people want to follow that because it's real life. So making sure that you're authentic to you, that you're not just all of a sudden going to start doing makeup videos when you don't normally wear makeup. I found Danny, we were sidelines in It Works. We had met once. I don't think we ever spoke on social media, but we were friends because we were friends. And I found her because I used to follow her makeup videos, and I would watch her do her makeup. And I thought, that's what you need to find, is being authentic to who you are, so that your regular network know that that is you, and that's, a love or a struggle or a whatever, and then build on that, and making sure that you're staying true to you, that you're not just finding a craft to do when you don't ever do crafts. Like, I am not a craft mom. I'm like, throw my kids some crayons and color whatever the heck you want. I am not going to sit down and do it with you. And if I started doing coloring and arts and crafts videos, my network would be like, who is this? This is not you. So staying authentic to you, but building your brand that way, I think can be so big for you, your business personally, not just Lavelle.
Yeah, and I think too, though, it's super important that there's a fine line with people that are working on branding themselves. They automatically associate it with attraction marketing a lot of times. And, there is a difference between somebody doing attraction marketing that has 250 friends that have never network marked before in their life, and somebody that has been working a business and has a huge network that is developed their brand and is attraction marketing. Okay. So I think our teams, I think that's really a super important thing that we work with our teams on if they're doing that. I'm not saying attraction marketing is bad, because I use it all the time. You use it all the time. Everybody uses it all the time. They just don't realize that they use it. When they're talking about things they've been able to accomplish, goals they've been able to set out, and so forth. So I do know, because there's so many different types of styles and things that people are going to be doing, that it's important that if we have a new promoter, I did this check off last night with somebody. I kind of explained it on our Zoom. I said, okay, if a new promoter, or if a promoter messages me and tells me that they're discouraged, or they don't, nobody's joining them, they're not really growing, they're not really sure what to do. I ask them, how are they working their business? What is their main way of working their business? If it is social media, I say, is it okay if I go take a look at your social media and give you some honest opinions? And they normally say yes. I go to their page. First thing I notice is, if I'm only seeing Thrive posts, okay, that's not good. If it's their profile picture is not even a picture of them and it's like a dog or something, I tell them, you need to put a picture of yourself so that you're relatable. What kind of presentation does your profile have? If you go to your page, are you just seeing negative, complaining? You got to get rid of that. I'm not talking about don't talk about stuff, because I talk about stuff all the time, but I don't think people would ever consider me a negative person, because I always try to pull the positive out. I also look to see what kind of interaction they have on their page. If they don't have a lot of likes or comments on their page, that tells me that they are not liking and commenting, and they are not engaging actively. Are they growing their friends? Are they public? Are they private? Are they sharing who they are? You guys, I have people in this business that I know nothing about, because they never share anything about themselves. I can pretty much go down through different people on this Zoom, and I can tell you stories about them and their lives, you know. Literally, I could tell you stories about lives of people because of what they have shared, transformations that they have had. You know, Pam is one of them. I can tell you, like, over the last like month and a half, I've seen her totally like transform and out exercising and sharing her journey, her goals, her pictures. Just it tells a story in the process, you know, of seeing her get her health back, seeing her get her confidence back in the way that she's sharing. And you guys, those are the stories that catch people's attention. Just like it caught mine, it's going to catch other people's eyes as well. You know, Amanda Boswell likes to share all kinds of different tips about, she's always organizing or like getting these thrifty deals on stuff. And I'm always like, girl, like, seriously? Like, how do you go to the grocery store for a family of 6 and or 7? 7, you have 7, right? Yeah, 7. Or you'll have 7. Never mind. You'll have 7. Anyways, for $200. Like, what? Like, that baffles my mind, you know? But those kind of things catch people's attention. And our teams, sometimes I think they think that they just have to post about business or just post about the product in order to grab people's attention. But really, it's a process and a journey of all things. So,
and I can tell you, if you only are posting about your business and the next deal that you guys have, or the $50 credit or the free promoter account, that you've been unfollowed. You may not get the backlash, but I can tell you that now nobody is seeing your stuff because they've just unfollowed you. This is from personal experience. You need to keep it interesting so that people want to follow your journey, and then just throw in those little things, you know, a couple times a week or once a day. You know, we want to be.
And I'm also seeing people not share testimonies and stories, and not as many people have been sharing their Thrive experience to the Lavelle fan page. And I've really tried to step up this last week in encouraging my team to submit their stories and their testimonies if they haven't yet. Some of them didn't even know they could share it. So that just tells you how quickly our teams are growing. As quickly as they're growing, people aren't getting some of the basics of sharing those testimonies on a regular basis, whether it's directly from the fan page or it's copy and pasting and sharing on your page. Or, you know, even as far as submitting your own and getting that validation. Look, guys, I'm going to be honest. Lavelle posted my video, my 60-second video yesterday from conference from New Orleans. And I was horrified by, like, I told Donnie, I don't even remember having the conversation that I shared in that 60-second clip, because I literally was like a deer in headlights, freaking out in front of everybody. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't share that. But also I didn't share it because of all the kind of stuff that has been going on, you know, with Shanann and the case that's been shared and so forth. So I didn't share that yesterday just because I didn't feel like it was appropriate, but I'm going to share it either today or tomorrow, just depending on, you know, whatever. But I think that it's super important to just make sure that our teams are keeping back to the basics as well when it comes to, you know, getting their Thrive experience out there, sharing their Thrive experience, whether that's alive or not. People are going to work their way up. If, you know, Holly is great with, you know, three-way calls, three-way chats and so forth. I would love, and this might just be me talking. I would love this week's Zoom. I don't know who's doing it, on Wednesday night, to maybe go over some of those basics of submitting their online or their Thrive experience, sharing the testimonies, three-way calls, three-way chats, getting minis out the door, following up with those. Like, I think some of that needs to be, we need to have a Zoom on that or a live on that all over again. Just because I know I would not be here without getting on the call that I did with Lisa and Jamie. I would not be here if Lisa or Jamie had not reached out to me, and then Lisa sent me a sample. so I think that's such a powerful thing. And I know because I did a poll on my team page, that people are not doing three-way calls and three-way chats. And they are not sharing the Thrive testimony or inviting people to the fan page. So those basic things are something that I think have definitely been missing out a lot. I definitely want to encourage everybody to try to learn something new about developing themselves every day. That's not necessarily always personal development. For me, I have been working on my photography skills because I realized through the changing of my Instagram, of something that I'm working on very much so right now, that I wasn't taking good quality pictures. So I couldn't tell a story. There was no story being told. I was just sharing pictures. And I didn't have a strong passion behind what I was sharing. And everybody works their Instagram different. Okay. Everybody works their Instagram different. I have tons of people that just share before and after pictures all day long, and they sign customers like I couldn't tell you. And I used to do that. I used to sign customers up, but that's actually not where I'm working my business to go with my Instagram. So I wouldn't be a good person to follow on Instagram right now for somebody that was looking for business tip ideas, because I'm working on building my influence on the platform and my influence will directly lead to more business and so forth in the future. But I'm just working at something on a different angle. So I think it's important that you yourself continue to find things about you that you want to strengthen. Maybe you feel like you aren't a good leader. Then I challenge you. Step into that role. What does it take to be a good leader? Go read Leaders Eat Last. Go read a book that will help you strengthen in those skills. Go listen to a YouTube that talks about leadership. John Maxwell has tons of different videos on YouTube that touch on different principles in leadership and different things that you're going to come up against. Ask yourself when the last time you checked in with your team was. Ask yourself when the last time you found out what their why was or where they wanted to go in this business. Ask yourself those hard questions. Am I leading by example? Am I getting on the Zooms? Am I getting on the calls? Am I doing three-way chats or three-way calls? Am I doing a live here and there? And really kind of those self-evaluation things. Am I using the products? Am I sharing the products? Guys, I'm guilty. I am so guilty of not sharing my own personal experience with the products. So I have been super intentional with that this summer. I don't know how many of you guys have followed, seeing some of my posts where I've been like, yeah, but I haven't been consistent, but here's where I'm at. I'm not perfect. I struggle. I fall behind. I eat like a bag of chips every now and again. This is my journey, and there's no magic behind it. It's me falling and getting up again and trying. It's me falling and getting up. And more people can relate to me sharing the honest to goodness. I failed, but I got back up and here we go again, than people can with me just posting this ridiculously awesome photo and saying, Thrive did this. No, Thrive didn't do this. Thrive didn't make you eat right and exercise every day. You made a conscious decision to eat right and exercise every day. Thrive just helped you make those choices better and helped you feel better. So I think it's important that we teach our teams that they need to be sharing that kind of stuff outwardly as well. Yeah. So I'm just going on and on and on and on. I don't think people realize the fan page is a great form of third-party validation, at least. Yeah, listen, if I'm talking to somebody, here's a, and I'm not even sure if all the 12Ks that are on this call right now know this, but Chas said something to me on the very first events or something, first times that I met Chas. She said, I will be talking to somebody, and the example that she used was she was talking to this guy and he was like an adrenaline junkie. So she went to the fan page and she typed in adrenaline plus Thrive, and this picture of this guy jumping out of an airplane pops up. So she grabbed that picture or grabbed that post and she sent it directly into Messenger to that guy. You guys, that's huge. That's directly relating to what this person's personality is like, and something so relatable. I don't think our teams even realize they can do that. And that's a great way if you have a teacher or a nurse or a doctor or a mom that is like, got a quadrillion kids running around, and you see a story of somebody, sharing on the Lavelle fan page that you're talking to somebody and they're like, I don't know if I could do this. You'd be like, listen, I've got this great story. After you go do your research and your homework, I've got this great story. Would you mind if I sent it to you? Nope. I'd love that. Okay, great. You send it to them. Now they can relate to what this person just shared. All right. It's a great way for that validation from hearing another person's testimony or story. So, okay, anybody else have anything? I know we've got about 12 minutes before pay. Is there anything anybody wants to talk about? Oh yeah, Katie said don't pay for training. YouTube is free, podcasts are free. That's how I've learned this industry, guys. I have not paid for very many trainings. I've paid for occasional thing. I bought a Instagram one like a week and a half ago, and honestly, it didn't help. I could have found the same stuff that I learned on YouTube and through Google, because I'm always looking up. Something I'm always looking up is the next trends in social media, because I think it's important for us to stay on top of that. So I'm always researching like what the next trends are going to be on Instagram and Facebook, because those are the two platforms that I use. But also, yeah, you can find it all, like just different tips and tricks. And Snapchat is supposed to be having actually a change where the stories are going to be viewable outside of the app. But it hasn't launched yet, and I'm not really sure where they're going with that. But just those of you guys that use Snapchat a lot, just kind of keep an eye out there, because that could be huge. That could be a huge thing that changes that whole platform differently. Oh, Emily, I like that. You've been sharing your Pinterest projects, and I've been doing that. I think that's great, because honestly, that's very similar to the Instapot stuff that people were like going crazy about for a while. I know Heather shared a ton. Kayla Fox had been posting a ton of them last year. And, those are things that people can relate to. I like to do crafts, like not crafts, but like do-it-yourself stuff with Leah sometimes, because it is straight up entertainment. You already know that I'm going to be a hot mess. Or I cooked something last week. I forget what I made, but I got like a crap ton of views on that, because people know that I don't cook, and I think that's something so huge.
Can I add something really quick?
Yeah.
When you were just saying trends, something I like to do would be absolutely looking forward, maybe like a month or two, like fall is coming up. So I want to be the first person that starts posting, like I put a fall wreath up on my door, and I'm starting to post that sort of stuff. Actually started putting up stuff about Christmas, because I want potential new promoters thinking about how they're going to pay for their Christmas presents. And I'm not saying that directly, but I'm saying I just bought the first gift for Christmas. Who's done that already? And so I'm putting things out there to get people in my audience thinking about these things, and so I maybe am not being super direct with how I'm asking or how I'm kind of marketing, but that's still my form of getting people to think about it, because then I'm going to follow up later with today's payday Tuesday. And guess what, y'all? I'm in a free business and I just made a paycheck and it's awesome, so I think maybe looking ahead a month or two is what I kind of try to tell people to do in my, on our team is look at the hot topics coming up. What can you use that's coming up that people are already thinking about and they're going to be stressing about, and start adding that into, trying to add value to your page by getting people to think about how to find solutions to things like that,
Yeah, and I think too, like the countdown for Christmas and so forth will start happening. I don't even know how many days there are, but I know it's under 130 at this point. But there's just different stuff, and it serves twofold. It catches people's attention. Like I want to, yesterday, Donnie and I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and Jamie, I swear to God, if you don't have a Dick's and you're making fun of me because I said that, okay, because she made fun of me for a grocery store called Food Line. She roared at me, guys. So anyways, seriously, I'm not kidding, but I can't even look at her. But they had this Bowflex there, and y'all, I'm going to be honest, I need to get my butt moving, okay? And I have been like, yeah, I am not a gym person. I'm not. As much as I'd like to be, I'm just not. And yes, I'm telling myself I'm not because I don't like it. I don't like the sweaty, nasty armpits that are on the benches or any of that stuff. I think it's disgusting and gross. And I need cardio. I know now everybody that goes to his gym's like, ew, I didn't even think about that. But it just grosses me out. It's a personal thing. But I do need to get my butt moving. So I'm like, I need to share that journey and maybe get a, exercise thing to have in my house so I do it more. Because I'm not likely to go walking around my neighborhood because I'd like to stay alive, and that, not saying our neighborhood's bad or anything. It's just there's a bunch of weirdos out there. So I don't really feel comfortable walking around by myself where I live, so I mean, I could take my Mastiff, but I'm just saying, just different ideas and so forth. I don't even know where the hell I'm going with that. I'm sorry. I totally got confused with myself. Santa Claus. I love that. Oh yeah. See, Janie even remembers I did giveaways last year before Christmas. And I'm going to do them again this year as well. I think I did that. Leah loved it. But even, Janie remembered last year I would hop on and I'd be Santa Claus, and I'd do the live and the giveaway. And let me tell you guys, I had so much interaction from those posts. And yes, I was giving stuff away. By the way, all tax write-offs. But I was giving stuff away and it was making people happy. And it was just something that was really nice, to do. I thought those things are really, really, really fun to do. I was trying to think of somebody else that was doing some really cool lives and videos right now that are just very draw you in. But, Katie said something there too, where she was unboxing a subscription box. Those type of things, guys, are things that people do. They're drawn to them. And I think that's going to happen. One last thing, Jamie had asked early on, I'm not sure how many people, Katie asked what kind of things was I giving away. It was a variety, Katie. It was a variety. I'd go on Amazon and I'd look for different deals that were going on for the day, and then I would just go with the giveaway with that. I think I did end up giving an Instapot away one day. I gave, I think, headphones away, a camera away, different stuff that people could give to their kids, or they could keep for themselves. So we just did a variety of different stuff. So what I was going to say was, Jamie had asked, what kind of things do you guys need? What kind of questions do 12Ks that are on here right now need for their business? No, Leah, not right now.
Can everyone see this?
No, please.
Please, let me out.
Yes, sure. Sorry. You've got to see my kid's flower.
It was made out hot glue.
Hot glue. Yeah. Okay, go.
It's very easy to make.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
What are you saying? Go ahead to.
You guys, what do the 12K and up leaders on the Zoom need?
Yes, we need to know. I want to make these calls worth getting on every week. I don't want them to be redundant information that people feel like they don't need to be plugging in. So we want to be able to have different leaders teach and train and talk things through and have a place that we can work through problems. But
I have a question. I have a question for Jamie and Amanda. It's Shannon.
Where are you at? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm driving. I shouldn't be, but I'm driving and zooming. I want to know in your business what your everyday tasks look like for your team. Like, what are you doing every single day consistently? What will you not miss? What is non-negotiable? Because I just feel like I'm not engaged in that part of my business as much as I should be, but I don't also maybe know what to do. So I would love to know what, like, you guys obviously are rock stars. I mean, what do you do? How did you get there? Like, I mean, obviously we have the same steps that we do over and over, but is there anything that stands out to you guys that you could say, look, if you're not doing this, you're done. Like, you're not going to go anywhere.
I think that, I am very big on communication through team page, and then layered leadership within my team. So like I have a chat that has everybody in it, but I strongly don't encourage a lot of chatter because it's not productive in chats. So yes, ask a question, but okay, questions answered, let's move on. Like we're not going to talk about like what you did yesterday and today and in that chat. That's not what it's there for. If the same question is being answered in a chat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, there's a problem. Okay? Because that means that you're not teaching your team to go to the team pages and to search for the answers. I think it's important to constantly, on a regular basis, put out action tasks and different ideas and ways to grow your business. Like right now, this morning, I posted something for a challenge on Instagram to go and follow, like, comment, look up a hashtag, make some engagement, just giving people something to do and ideas. I also think on a regular basis, I am always plugging into calls that I can. If I'm at a game or something, I miss it, period, end of story. If I'm at a doctor's appointment, I miss it. If I'm home and I'm on Facebook or Instagram or not doing something with my kids, then I'm going to hop on that call. There's no reason I shouldn't hop on it. I hop on it. If I'm in my car and I'm sitting at a drive-through or something, checking my messages, I don't check it when I'm driving, but say that I'm just in my car, for whatever reason, and somebody posts a call, I choose to get on the call instead of just like shutting the app and say, no, I'll just catch the recording later. Like there's times I'm going to miss those things because if I'm at my daughter's game, I don't even answer my messages. And if I do, it's like a short answer, but I'll get back to you after. So on a daily basis, Shannon, I would say I get up and I do, stuff for myself personally. Okay. But I do my 3 steps and whatever, and just have my time for myself. But then I check my messages. I get a post out there to my team. I check in with my leaders sometime throughout the day, every day though, always with every day. I make sure I have posted on social media that I have gone through and interacted, talked to people. I'm trying to learn something on a regular basis. And I think every day changes, but I'm always on the search for how can I help my team and how can I help other people thrive or get started in this business. So I always keep my focus there, and the rest, like everything else just kind of follows. So basically my focus is always on where my team needs help, what they need improved, where do they need to learn, how can we better help them in some way, shape, or form obtain and reach their goals. But you have to know what their goals are first in order to be able to do that. And then like Janie, I know she's been really searching, and all of you guys that have men in this business, my husband does not, work the business actively or anything like that. So he would not be a good one to be like on a Zoom or anything like that. But Janie has been looking for, I guess some of her male promoters or potentials are really wanting some men to step up and share. But you guys, I can tell you, like, I have men on my team, and they do definitely share, but they're not always the ones to lead Zooms and stuff. And that's not because we don't want men to lead the Zooms. It's just because they didn't volunteer to lead the Zooms. So I'd say, you know, when it comes to needing those men and so forth, there's other guys in the company, you know, we can have them follow and so forth if not. But also I think encouraging the men to create a culture for themselves as well is highly critical, because sometimes they do feel overwhelmed by all of the estrogen. All of the things.
I know Mark has been really trying to get out of his comfort zone, and he actually ran the power hour on Saturday morning. So, you know, he's doing his, you know, affirmations, his I ams, and really kind of figure out his brand, his thing, and really trying to step out of
interviewing people too.
Yes, that's his Flex Friday for guys. Every Friday he goes live with another guy thriver. So I think he's been doing like an amazing job with all of that and really stepping out of his comfort zone. He like was freaking out when he first started all of this, but I'm so proud of him. So, you know, and I know like our team, if they have any male potentials, they always reach out to him for 3-ways and things like that. So, you know, he's more than willing to help out with anything.
Amanda, I seen, I think, hold on, I'll get back to Amanda and I'll answer this. I think Danny, you know, with Mark but he had to take the initiative to want to do that branding, to want to step out of his comfort zone. So I think that's one thing that the guys coming in need to understand, that they need to take the initiative too. If they, you know, want to see more males, like they have to be loud and say, hey, who wants to do a Zoom? Like, let's get some guys on a Zoom and do it. You know what I mean? I think like you have to like step out there, and we can give them people to follow and so forth. But I mean, there's just not a lot of male Zooms that we have. Like, I don't see a lot, you know, of them. But I think it's just really just plugging them in and telling them who on our team is, you know, actively working their business, and then just trying to be more apt to getting more people involved on a regular basis. I seen Amanda say like her chat was super chatty. If you find your chat is super chatty, but yet your team is not producing, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, you know, Amanda, I know you and I have had this conversation. She was having a problem with her direct. She's got her directs in a chat with her. Okay. And then as do I, and as does Jamie. Okay. She has her directs in a chat. Jamie, how active would you say your direct chat is?
My chat is, you maybe have one post a week, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Mine
here's
too.
the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If a chat becomes too chatty, what are you doing with your day?
Well, and people aren't looking at their resources.
I said the exact same thing to Danny. Danny had Danny's about to hit 80K, but she's got a 40K team. And all it was okay, first of all, if people are asking, the only spot that they're getting answers are in a chat. You have people that are lazy and don't want to look for the information yourself, and it's easier to just ask a question and have somebody answer it. So the chances of them remembering anything is going to be almost none, because they don't have to work to find it. So they're not going to remember. They're going to copy and paste the answer and pass it along. There's no reason why you need to be on a chat all day, every day. I don't need to know how your breakfast was. I don't need to have a million messages saying good morning, Thrivers. I don't care that you just took your second poop of the day and you're excited that you're regular. That is what friends talk about, and that's not how you build your business. I love my people, but if my personal chat ever became that active, I would shut it down.
Yeah.
Your chat should be productive. They should be there for a purpose. And the purpose of my personal chat is to run promos for my personally enrolled. We make the most money on our personally enrolled. And I always want to be working with my personally enrolled. So I'm running incentives there. When Triple Fast Starts come out, I'm putting, you know, an incentive out for there. We've got people like when we go to Mexico, I'm doing something for my personally enrolled people. So that's when I engage in that chat. But that's it. That is all you'll see me active on.
Now, I will tell you guys, I did make a chat over the last probably 2 months. I had some people that their leaders had quit, or maybe they were under some people that weren't, and they really needed that extra added support where they could feel related to and comfortable with other people. And I've actually taken probably 4 or 5 different teams that just had chats that were either really overly like not super productive, or their team just really wasn't engaging or anything like that. And we put them and combined them into one. Some people would think that it was like a super chatty chat, but those people that are in that chat know that it's not. Generally, what we do is on Flex Fridays, everybody goes in and shows some love on everybody's post. They'll say, hey, I posted my Flex Friday. It's just a way for everybody to kind of communicate. Sometimes we'll have little challenges, or I might run like a really short little small promo, where I might do like, free shipping or something like that. And it just something fun, challenging each other. Do people ask questions? Sure, absolutely. But what I found was, because of the culture and the way that we set it up, most of the time people are redirecting back to the team pages. I'm not saying don't build relationships, don't build that family atmosphere with people. I'm not saying any of that, guys. You absolutely can do that, but a team chat is not the place to necessarily have that culture happening, like all the time, just for the simple fact that sometimes people are brand new. I want you to think of it like this, and I'm all about looking at it from different perspectives, and I am all about like the opposing viewpoints. Like, not everybody's going to agree with this, and that's okay. But from a brand new promoter that is coming in, that is super overwhelmed, and this new promoter added their new promoter. Now, I don't add new promoters to chats ever until they have learned or worked on and almost at their VIP 800, or they're missed their VIP 800, but they are working and they want to be added to a chat. Then I add them. But just picture this. So you've got this chat and this new person gets added, and they want to learn this business. They get added to this chat, and you're talking about your mother's brother's cousin who did this, or blah, 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 blah. And this chat is just blowing up, and it's 12 o'clock at night, and this new person comes in and they are already super overwhelmed, and they open up this chat and there's 150 messages. And you're like, what? That should never be the case. Okay? That should never be the case. So just imagine that and picture that. I know it's easy to get caught up, but like Jamie said, what are you possibly having be productive if that's where the chat is leading? You know what I mean? And I like to clean out chats every now and again, and I have a rule for no negativity as well, because one negative Nancy in the chat, and I'll be honest, there's other leaders that their chats, they're the negative person that's in it. Okay. They're the toxic person that's in it. So I'm just going to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying that leaders are never that person, but sometimes they are. And then all I can do is be like, try to be the light and bring some niceness to it and redirect. So,
hey guys, I just wanted to post, so commissions have been posted, but people are having a hard time transferring. We as leaders need to just calm people. We've never had, in a year and a half, I've never had them hold my money. Last week was the very first time that we waited past 1 o'clock to get our commissions. So I'm sure that it's just some little glitch. At one point, you can just probably go back in and click and it'll transfer. Everything will be fine. So let's just calm our teams. I've already got like probably 30 messages in the last 5 minutes as to people who can't transfer their stuff, but it'll all be fine. We just need to reassure our teams that, it's a little glitch in the system. It'll be.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. And then I promise, guys, I'll shut up. When there's something that's going on, guys, where there's a problem or a conflict or a struggle or whatever, you take that immediately, like outside of your chats or whatever. But you have to remember the way that you handle it is going to set the tone going forward. This sample stuff right now, I saw people complaining that their sample was smashed, that their sample was, you know what? You got a free damn sample. I saw people complain about stuff not being delivered, not being able to be picked up. But here's what I want to make sure that gets across there. And I hope I didn't sound insensitive when I said that. But here's what I want to say is that this is a pre-launch. Okay. Like this is a soft launch. So there is going to be a lot of crap that's not right with this whole free, free samples, and Canada's not even getting them right now. Right, Jamie? Are they getting them?
No.
No. So international's not getting those samples right now, but this pre-launch, there's going to be like little glitches and things like that. The system, when it's not letting you get through, try to troubleshoot instead of, if you have somebody complaining, they can't get somebody enrolled. You guys, I've been in a business where the entire system shut down for a week. And I had a choice either to keep on working and to gather the information to put those orders in later when I could, or to let the customer know I was getting frustrated and couldn't, help them. So we have to remember that we set the tone for our teams, the way that they're going to handle when they come up against obstacles, along the way and so forth. And just to give grace, to the company, the fact that they are still giving us stuff constantly, remember that that's a blessing, because they could take that stuff away at any time. And I've been with a company that did that too. So with that said, I'm so sorry, guys. I keep on talking, and it's like almost 1:15. So I'm going to wrap this up and let everybody have an amazing, amazing day. I appreciate all of you hopping on and sharing this time with me. I hope that we talked about different stuff that maybe gave you different ideas, or different ways to approach stuff. And, like Jamie said, she's going to be doing a push for the last 10 days. I will encourage all of you to develop some kind of action plan and push for your team over these last 10 days of the month. And it's not about necessarily hitting a rank or hitting a goal or anything like that. It's just getting their juices flowing. Maybe you want to encourage them to send little welcome packages to their kids' schools, or doing some kind of promoter pack, like mini challenge or something, 3-way chats, 3-way calls, making sure they share testimonies or whatever, but just really bringing up that communication and getting everybody uber focused. And Shannon, your question and so forth, I would just take an evaluation. I can send you a list that I posted the other day of daily action steps to make sure that, you're doing that, everybody really should be doing. And essentially those are the things that I do as well. So if you want, I can send you that. I can just post it. Actually, I'll just post it on the Dream Team page.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks
Thanks
guys.
for plugging in, guys.
And I will, I'll post this recording as soon as I get it uploaded to YouTube. Bye, guys.